2 minutes. Weighted in the favour of Morocco. Just clattered the bar in Van Verbruggen's goal. This is a spell where the Netherlands need to be switched on, and it is Gakpo who's reacted. Into Somerville just ahead of the ball, almost wins it back, and he does. It's Somerville who goes to ground, nothing given by the referee. All of the Netherlands bench.
Halo bangku, aduh, maaf bang, di refresh dulu, di relive. Tadi mentok itunya, viewsnya. Ulang lagi ya. Tadi mentok viewsnya, nggak gerak.
But not enough. He goes to ground. He's looking to bait the referee into a set piece opportunity for Netherlands, and definitively waved off by the referee.
Well, this is a period of time where the Netherlands have been vulnerable. They've conceded 4 goals in the tournament, and 3 of them have come in a 5-minute spell between the 54th and 59th minute of the game.
And most importantly, I go back to the 2-2 draw against Japan, where the idea of simplistic possession is phenomenal when they want to get players forward. But that's when they've shown they've been at their most vulnerable. The moment that that ball turns over, and the verticality that we saw against Japan is very similar technically to what we see Morocco's capable of doing.
Penguasaan bola menang siapa bang?
Yes.
Kayaknya menang ini deh bang. Menang siapa namanya? Menang Morocco deh. Tapi nggak tahu ya.
And then into the path of Somerville, who's given everything and trying to get the ball over to Cody Gakpo. Has support arriving in orange. It's Gakpo. He thought it took a deflection. The referee isn't quite agree.
500 ya.
Well, transition moments and a look from the referee's view as Gakpo comes inside. He thought it might have taken a touch. Alawi, the number 24 midfielder, closing down space. But it's been clear from the opening whistle, Alan, that this referee, Walter Sampaio, is going to let the game breathe.
And here is Akram Hakimi.
Ya elah.
Nothing given. There was a roar from the Moroccan fans. But it is indeed an excellent tackle from Mickey van der Ven.
Week in, week out, we constantly hear the conversation surrounding the fastest player in the Premier League.
And the flag going very quickly up against Brian Brobbett.
And once again, Mickey van der Ven just showing with the need to make up yardage, fully capable, not just with the intelligence, but with the speed and the athleticism. Another early warning sign the start of the second half. And surprisingly, Hakimi unable to pull the trigger quickly.
Udah banyak banget peluangnya si Maroko nih.
Unai.
Saya makasih.
Hakimi. Wadi. Still goalless.
5.000.
Plenty to talk about in this game regardless. Diop. Hakimi. Unai.
12 minutes into the start of the second half of Morocco, it's been outstanding.
Penyelesaiannya coy. Jadi PR ini Morocco.
Well, the emphasis now is on Ronald Koeman to think about the structure of his setup from the opening whistle and think about the impact players that he has available to come off the bench. As important, it's not just about who he's going to bring on. More importantly, I'd argue, it's who he's going to take off and how does the structure benefit him in the final 30 or so minutes.
Diop. Hakimi. Unai.
Ya cakep itu sih
Hakimi. Trying to shrug off the pressure from Van der Ven. Unai. That has been all Morocco
I
at the
just
start of this second half.
And I just noticed something from the Morocco bench. One of the assistants was trying to flag Brahim Diaz closer over to Hakimi. He's had that freedom, the number 10, to really pop up just outside the penalty area.
Well, Kalouse
Ih,
diving header away from his own goal by Nathan Ake. Here's De Jong. Lifts it right into the
Lagi
path
dong.
of El Kalouse. Twist one way, sets up the shot and down to one
mereka
side.
banyak peluang tapi memaksimalkan peluangnya itu loh, terlalu
Yeah, just
buang-buang
to finish that
menurutku.
point with Brahim Diaz not being so central, the idea is to bring him actually tighter.
Masa dari sekian banyak itu nggak ada yang berhasil dikonversi, cuy.
Van de Ven or Nathan Ake to consistently double up on the right back, trying to get forward.
Kayaknya lebih banyak peluangnya si ini dah, si Maroko ini ketimbang Belanda ini.
Ronald Koeman and Ruud van Nistelrooy in deep discussion right now in the technical area.
Sekarang udah kelihatan banget, udah mendominasi si Maroko ini. Tapi kita nggak tahu ya yang namanya sepak bola ya, bukan tentang penguasaan bola. Tapi siapa yang lebih efektif? Maroko bisa aja punya banyak peluang. Kalau nggak ada yang bisa dikonversi menjadi gol ya percuma. Reinders.
The intensity and the urgency on the defensive side of the ball the moment that it's turned over. Because how quickly they are closing down space is drastically quicker than what we saw in the first 45
Beda,
minutes.
dua ya.
Still nursing that head wound, Van Hecke. As Mohamed Wabi makes his thoughts clear to the fourth official. And they've been making all the noise, the Moroccan fans. They have been excellent. Diop. Diaz. Brahim Diaz. Hakimi.
Frankie De Jong.
He's got to be thinking about it. Ronald
De
Koeman.
Jong.
He's got to be thinking about Tijani Reinders, Coop Miners, some fresh legs in the midfield. Thinking about the attacking phase of play. Donny Mylan, Memphis Depay, Quentin Timber, Justin Kluivert, all available. He's got options, but tactically, he's got to change something drastically with the way that Morocco, in possession, has penned Netherlands back.
We'll start to sense the Netherlands fans being just a little bit nervy.
Oh, lolos.
Saibari has pace to burn.
Cut back.
Continues to run. Saibari trying to set something up. It's well watched
Aduh, nggak di cut
by
back.
Virgil van Dijk and the Netherlands backline.
It's an excellent angle taken from the captain, recognizing that he has to allow his goalkeeper to protect the near post. Skill check on display, opens up his body, deft little touch up and over as Van Hecke's committed. As he goes to the end line looking for that cutback ball, right place, right time. Really intelligent movement and reading from Virgil van Dijk.
They've gone quite some time without a corner, Morocco, but they have one now.
Bagus ya.
Spit on it, power, and almost works
Gimana, Rena?
its way in. There will be another corner to react to
Mana
this
ya
for
anu dia
Brugge.
pesan?
And
Ini
now
nih
the
supaya ndak zone. Anu dah solar.
indicated by the referee
Solar,
here wasn't
iya.
happy with something that he saw, so the corner will be
Atau KFC kah? Atau apakah?
just a touch too
Pizza?
quickly by
KFC.
Morocco.
Ricis. Pizza kan kemarin udah. Apa?
Singapore once again trying to beat
Boleh.
Netherlands and Verbruggen at the near post.
Dua nih wajah ya so ya, kamu masak pagi.
Once again, third consecutive corner.
Apa ya tadi kan tahanan aku dengarin kan.
And getting the same response.
Anu, apa namanya? Firmagung, apa sih Firmagung? Terus yang play itu.
Elkanus has now walked over and the short corner if taken just changes the trajectory of service.
Ini 1 juta atau lebih tuh ya Allah. 2 juta lebih.
Attempt and far from the result that they wanted. Here's the closest that Morocco came through that series of corners.
Well, the idea of what he meant to do versus what Van Bruggen had to deal with. The margins are slim and doesn't really matter. But the third occasion in which Van Bruggen's been asked to be a major part of this game, starting
Nggak juga 2 menitan kayaknya.
with Al-Anawi and that glance header early in the match.
Dari situ tadi Dena
Really only his third intervention.
Silo sayang.
Obviously necessary. As always, tactically, Olabi's gotten it correct. The success he had with the under-20s and then with the under-23s or the Olympic team, this group of players certainly believes in everything that he's been selling to them.
Somerville, excellent control with the tip of his forehead. And given by the referee. Once again, Crescenzo Somerville can't quite believe that the decisions haven't gone his way. Here's
Ompion juga ada, Iki juga ada.
Trying to keep the ball in play. And it's been given as a goal kick for Morocco, much to the delight of their fans behind the Netherlands goal.
After that run and that bump from Elkanus, the margins of error are so slim for Mazraoui. Summerfield doing everything possible to point to the referee that there's a dogso opportunity with Mazraoui going to ground. The thing that benefits the Manchester United defender is as he goes to ground, he's able to recalibrate his body and just get a touch with his head.
It's been such a live wire. Crescenzo Somerville, if you feel any player in the bright orange of the Netherlands is going to unlock the Morocco back line, you feel will be that man in the highlighter green boots. Bruggen just toying with Ismail Saibali.
Siapa yang suka sama Piston aja?
Twist his way through. And there is a foul in the process.
Oh, as much as we were talking about potential changes for Netherlands, the same goes. There's Tijani Reinders, the player that was sacrificed in the midfield for Mickey van de Ven to go higher. And the man on the ball, Nathan Ake. Val Beghurst, another big opportunity, which hasn't seen any minutes so far, but for Ronald Koeman to potentially turn to somebody who has the size and presence that would cause a lot of problems in terms of direct play for these center backs to deal with.
He was the man who changed the game, didn't he? In the battle of Lusail, which in the end didn't go the way. Their penalty record, something that both of the managers were asked about in the press conference. It is Morocco who have an excellent record from this game against Spain.
Semangka, 3.000.
The 2022 finals.
Iya, 3.000.
Alabi's proven that he's got goals off the bench when you talk about Yassine and Rahimi. But I also wonder about Salah Eddin, a player who right around the 70th to 80th minute seems to come on and replace Mazraoui just to bring some fresh legs and a different look in this back line for Morocco. Fantastical chess match is going to be very fascinating in these final 25 minutes or so.
Berapa 5.000 ya?
Player who has his roots in the Netherlands, playing for Morocco. There's certainly some divided households tonight across the Netherlands. Raheem Diaz. Diop. And the Netherlands have scored 6 second-half goals at this World Cup, and only one of them has been later than this point in the 66th minute, and that was Crescenzo Somerville in the 89th minute against Sweden.
Oh, really interesting to go back to the 2-2 draw against Japan, and Ronald Koeman waited right around the 75th minute to start introducing his substitution patterns. The game against Sweden was done and dusted by halftime, so he made earlier changes. But I wonder how much he's starting to think about the potential for what we saw earlier between Germany and Paraguay, with the understanding of overtime and penalties are always in the back of your mind in a match like this.
Well, Ronald Koeman will be in the ear of his players as they break for their hydration break with 67 minutes on the clock. It is still goalless between the Netherlands and Morocco. Well, still goalless and an entertaining and intriguing 68 minutes so far. Hakimi really coming into the game through the second half. He has the most shots, most touches in the opposition box, and second most chances created of any player from Morocco or the Netherlands on the pitch right now. There is Van Beekhorst preparing to come on. That's another shirt for Shahriar Riyad. And here is the best opportunity of the second half, and it is, of course, from the captain, Hakimi.
On a couple of different occasions, we've seen Nathan Ake, he's biting on the initial step to try to get body close. Quick little pivot, weighted the pass perfect. And they've had some great opportunities. That's the best look as he smashes one into the crossbar. Looks less like ankle, more like blister for Hakimi. But the opportunity for multiple changes, starting with Van Beekhorst and initial minutes at the World Cup.
Well, the changes are exactly as you expected, Brian, and they come around the right cue as well. Goalless here in Monterrey. But we will see changes as play begins to resume between the Netherlands and Morocco, with Van Beekhorst coming into the action. So we believe Brian Brobby will be the player replaced. And also Koopmeiners, the other man, joining the action in this huge round of 32 clash. Already poised and ready to leave the pitch is Nathan Ake and Brian Brobby. How expected for you are those changes, Brian?
Well, I'm not surprised that Nathan Ake is going to be sacrificed with Tijani Reinders not starting this evening. Ake added to the back line, pushing Mickey van de Ven high on this left-hand side, overloading with numbers. Koopmeiners will go in centrally, and you'll see Mickey van de Ven drop to a definitive left-back position, similar to what we saw in all three previous games. Beekhorst, he's going to be different than Brobby, but you know that there's that direct verticality type of play where it's less about in behind, it's more about playing into his range.
Well, no surprise to see Brian Brobby removed from the action with the fewest touches of all of the 22 players. Brobby just 13 touches of the ball in the 70 minutes he played. Surging forward once again. And on by Van Beekhorst into the path of Somerville, who goes down. And it's left and it's into the back of the net. And some things are just bigger than football. Cody Gakpo finds the back of the net and is embraced by his teammates. Some things, some goals just mean more. And that, for Cody Gakpo, means absolutely everything. The strength he needed to step onto the pitch today was
Gakpo lagi cuy.
monumental. The goal will stand as the tears roll. That means everything to Cody Gakpo.
Gakpo mode Belanda emang lumayan mengerikan ya bangku ya. Mode timnas.
Well, direct play with Bob Beghurst. We talked about his size, his presence, his aerial strength, the run for Somerville, the touch into space. Mazraoui, the referee allows the play to continue. And then Cody Gakpo, he's hunting, he's waiting, he recognizes that he's got to float, he's got to stay, he's got to pop up in a dangerous spot. And somehow that touch gets across the face of the goal, recognizes his opportunities, goes right through the legs of the onrushing goalkeeper. And the emotions, not just for the goal itself, for the country, for his family, the tears visible. And what a moment that is for Cody Gakpo to open up this scoreline with 17 minutes remaining.
In a week where him and his family announced the loss of their unborn baby boy.
Wah, makin seru ini bang.
The strength required to stand on the pitch, to walk out of the dressing room. It takes everything, and it's a goal that means the world. He's brought all of the fans into his life, into his home this week. And as things stand, he's taking the Netherlands into the next round.
Kenapa?
There you can see at the bottom of your screen, Salah Eddin, the 24-year-old, getting set to come in. I think this is less about the goal conceded. This is more, Ellen, about future goals being dismantled down that right-hand side with fresh legs and specific to dealing with the intelligence of the movement up top right now from Netherlands in transition moments. Credit where credit's due. Ronald Koeman and that change of Koopmeiners and Bob Beghorst, immediate dividends.
Bisa ada dulu Korea sama Jepang pernah tuan rumah.
It's the history books are in favor of the Netherlands. Unbeaten in their last 26 matches when scoring first.
Kalah bidding. Kan pengajuan orang toh.
Yes, feet, pull back.
Well, you can see it's a definitive limp. And usually Salah Eddin comes in for Mazraoui. I would assume that Mazraoui now plays as a center back with Issa Diop, and Salah Eddin is on that left-hand side trying to get forward early and often in an attack-minded left back position.
Who was born in the Netherlands, capped for the Netherlands at youth level. Wadi. Hakimi. Mazraoui. This is a deal.
Well, what a tale of two halves. Morocco so dominant in possession, really forcing Netherlands to pick and choose their lines of contention, dropping more into a mid-block after scoring this goal. But it was the exact opposite in the first 45 minutes. It was dominance in possession for Netherlands. And despite that, Morocco had the better of the chances. It's like we flip-flopped the roles in both halves.
It is a game that has swung left and right and up and down in terms of momentum for either team. Knight continues for Morocco. Wadi takes a quick look up, it's a clever flick and it's guided away by Van Hekke and out for a Morocco corner.
There's such great awareness for both sets of center backs this evening for covering the back shoulder. And again, the release valve of just recognizing the moment.
Kamangka lo pasama ya orang lagi WA bisa
has flared out that you have to be responsible for cover.
Ah, iya.
No. Always to take the
Kosong.
corner. It's power on it. Headed away.
Shoot.
Saladin.
Wah.
Shot back in has power, but is
Mentok sih
deflected
mbok.
out for a throw.
Desi na kedo. Sempak mo naik menre.
There's an
Tapi
urgency
desi na kedo.
around Morocco, and changes will come as well. Wabi.
El Morabat and the goal scorer Yassine, the 20-year-old.
Itulah tadi ku bilang. Banyak peluang tapi nggak bisa dimanfaatin ya percuma. Bisa jadi bumerang ternyata bener.
El Canous, the quality of service. Goalkeeper stays on his line, and Saibari just throws every inch of his body forward as Dumfries again covering the back shoulder. And again, exactly what I was talking about, full commitment across this back
Dia
line
pesan Andre mah.
with the way that
Dia
they
pesan.
stayed connected, shoulder to shoulder, and recognizing the importance of space.
Ah, tetap pun ni pelewat suka Malisa. Sekalian malah tole.
Here come the changes.
Ah,
Comes
bere nanti pi pesan di Pak. Jo malah bere.
Part of the 20 World Cup winning
Apa?
squad under Mohamed Wabi just this time last year. And Samet Mulabek as well, waiting to come on in place of Bouadi.
A very quiet night for
Kurang
Brahim
menias
Diaz
biasa
on this
betul,
right-hand
Trin.
side in front of Hakimi. For Bouadi, I don't think there's a scout or a fan
Karena
around
tak aja
the
nih
world that
masalah
hasn't
war
been
dia
impressed
apa
with
kata
what they've seen from this 18-year-old so far in these first 4 matches
Belum.
of the World Cup.
Sudah
Whatever his
diketek,
future looks
tapi
like
belum selesai
to
ku
this
edit.
next destination, it's going to be incredibly
Hah?
bright.
We've seen
Dena sempat, dena selesai Pak melampe videonya.
immediately into the action.
20 menit lebih.
It's ball forward, put high by Tomaso Bali. Clash of heads, and now play is stopped. Well, the Moroccan fans are not happy at all with the decision to stop play, but as it was a clash of heads, it is of course required.
Well, in the moment that Ryan Gravenberch stays down, it really does force the hand of the referee. Here's another look, Cody Gakpo. He's flaring out, and what a touch. We have not done justice to Somerville as he goes to ground. Just in the moment that we feel like maybe there's a potential for another dog-so situation, he gets a definitive cross back across the face of goal. Cody Gakpo, the emotions staring at the sky and the understanding individually what this meant for him privately, as well as the moment for Netherlands on the field here in Monterrey.
Well, he took time away from camp to be with his family as they mourned the loss of his unborn son.
11.
What strength for Cody Gakpo. The only goal in this game so far as he goes up the order into joint second now in the Netherlands all-time goal-scoring list at a World Cup. We have maybe a decision
Berapa
to
satu?
make for both coaches, although it looks like Ronald Koeman is the man who's calling players back
3.000.
over from warming up.
Ya.
It looks as if he was motioning to Quentin Timber, the Marseille man, to potentially be the next change for Netherlands.
We want to control this game for the next 8.5 minutes. There will, of course, be more time added on. We've had a few head injuries, players going down through the game so far. As the ball's fizzed forward and it's well shepherded. Cook Miners all the way back to his goalkeeper. Be alert to Strasbourg winger Yassine scored his first goal for his country against Haiti last
Yang
week.
berapa itu? 15? Emang 15 itu mah? Itu.
Here's Hakimi. Yassine. And Moulabet. So part of the Strasbourg squad that made it all the way to the Europa League semi-finals. Here's Gakpo
Iya, saya
once
apa?
again. Big horse jogging into position. It's communication with Gravenberch and Somerville, despite having plenty of pace to burn. Can get those crescent green boots moving at the pace required to latch onto the ball. I think Moulabet.
There's 7 minutes remaining, Alan, and there's a very fine line between patience and urgency right now. You want to figure out a way to level the score line, but at the same time, do not allow in transition moments Netherlands to find the second.
Menurut tak, mending live pagi sekali atau jam 2. Hah?
Not long until we see changes made
Apa sayang?
for the Netherlands. Somerville continuing to
Jadi
run
mending
and
jam
run.
2.
Tries to shrug off the
Lumayan
pressure
tak
there.
viewsnya tadi jam 2.
And here comes the change. Off comes Gravenberch. And on comes Anton Timber. And Gerard Hartl as well will be making his way onto the pitch. But
Iya, ini baru Bang, lupa.
I think we'll be waiting
Gakpo tadi ya.
for the next window for those two changes to be made.
Baru banget mau diganti. Gakpo 72.
And they're going to also add, not just Harto, they're going to add Donny Myland as well. So he's held off on the change to make it a 3-prong adjustment with about 5 minutes remaining.
Somerville, ball forward into the path of Dumfries, who's charging forwards it, keeps his head down, keeps his run going, and can't quite reach about their course. But a marauding run. Now only lifting himself up from the advertising hoardings behind the goal. Here's Saibari, has space to run into, and a firm shoulder from Virgil van Dijk, who celebrates that like they've scored a goal.
He has been excellent tonight. A leader amongst men. And the read is phenomenal. Saibari, he's proven to be a handful for Van Hecke. As he comes across, toe poke, gets away, takes a clattering. And look at that celebratory moment. As important as a goal scored sometimes, these defensive stops from this back line. Rahimi and Taubi both getting set to come in for Morocco as well.
So the changes will start with the Netherlands and
Belanda lolos kalau nggak ada perubahan.
it's been communicated. Well, the changes now where
Aku bilang juga tadi Bang,
it will be Morocco
nggak bisa manfaatin peluang ini, bisa dihukum, bener dihukum.
making his way into the action. Coming off is Unai. And the changes as well. See Talby make his way into the action. The Sunderland man. And of course confirmation as well for Hartl and Timber making their way into the action, with Mickey van der Ven leaving the pitch for the Netherlands. Well, they have plenty of history scoring late, Morocco, and they'll have to rely on that here if they're to extend their stay at the World Cup in 2026. 4 goals have come in the 47th minute or later in their last 10 games in all competitions. Gakpo, big horse, still running. all latched onto. It's a ball to what continues. Here's Gakpo. Once again, wins the corner.
Well, they had to take the risk, and the substitution pattern most certainly lets us know that Morocco has thrown all the attacking players that they have available on the bench on this field just to see if they can create havoc, if they can find those moments. And right now, because they've earned the 1-0 lead, Netherlands are going to take as much time as humanly possible off the remaining seconds in this clock.
Minus. Floating ball, it's headed away. Plenty waiting. Match back onto it, but it will go out for a goal kick. The boot for El Harto. Saibali. Yassine to Saibali. Down here, holding his face. Hakimi's waving and then does kick the ball out of play through treatment.
I think it was the substitute, Hato, that had gotten him. Saibari, there's a commitment off the ball, a touch.
Wah.
He's grabbed him. He hasn't necessarily horse-collared him, but he's certainly made sure
Nakal
that
dia
he
itu.
slowed him down in the process. Hands to face and giving the referee something to think about.
We know what's at stake. 60 seconds of regulation time to play. Hakimi. Mazraoui. Diop. Hakimi. Early indications suggest that we'll have 6 minutes of additional time.
Ngantuk coy. Ah.
Diop. More of it. Mazraoui.
Goal!
The header is excellent! And Morocco are back level!
Game on.
Hear the roar of the Atlas Lions! As the clock was ticking down, the header was pinpoint and powerful. Past Bart Verbruggen.
And with the margin so slim between these two teams, Morocco committing numbers forward. Substitutes that were impacts coming off the bench to see if they can find a breakthrough. And it's their center back, Issa Diop. The Fulham man gets forward. And as the service comes in, curling right foot service up and out of the reach of Virgil van Dijk, away from Koopmeiners. Issa Diop rising up like a salmon. Flick header on goal, just out of the fingertip reach of the goalkeeper. The emotions are obvious. Looking to the heavens and trying to figure out in what world were they able to concede with just minutes remaining in this match. When leaders etch their name in stone, Issa Diop has certainly done so with that goal.
His first goal for Morocco, Issa Diop. And is it a goal that extends their stay at the 2026 FIFA World Cup? It's their second latest World Cup goal ever.
And it's not just that. It's thinking about the substitution pattern. It's thinking about the tactics and seeing how the balance is right in these dying moments.
So there was 6 minutes of additional time shown on the board as that goal went in. They've had a certain pace about them. And so is this man, Crescencio
Mulai ngaco
Somerville.
Belanda. Aduh.
Timbers chasing.
Harusnya sih dari tadi Bang si siapa namanya? Si Maroko ini cetak.
And the free kick is
Banyak
indeed
banget
given.
peluangnya soalnya. Cuma bego aja nggak bisa memanfaatkan peluang tuh.
Well, he will be scratching his head, Koeman. And the reaction from the Morocco fans, the bench. Everyone involved in the squad said it all, whereas you can feel the tension as we're halfway through these 6 minutes of additional time.
Gol lagi nggak nih?
Leveling things out for Morocco. And the Netherlands taking their time here with the kick. Swings in. Headed forward by Virgil van Dijk. And it will be a goal kick for Morocco. As extra time looms.
Ngantuk Mang.
We've only had 4 round of 32 games so far, and 3 of them have had goals in the additional time at the end of the 90.
Really fascinating. Morocco's moving around the chess pieces of players that they have on the field. Yassine has gone centrally. Rahimi's been asked to come over on this right-hand side in that last build. Keep an eye on the 7, Talbi, and his responsibility with dealing with Dumfries.
And this is showing there, but the flag goes up immediately. No hesitation from the linesman on the far side. It feels like there's somewhat of a curse on Ronald Koeman when it comes to facing teams in the top 25 of the FIFA rankings. So far, that hasn't shifted. Reaction from Timber. Sabari marauding forward once again. Somerville, excellent control with his head. It's Crescencio Somerville once again. Mazraoui with an excellent block.
Well, it's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Mazraoui in a recovery moment go to ground, and the risk versus reward come in secondary. His timing has been impeccable. And for Somerville, similar to Hakimi on this right-hand side, neither can release their shot quick enough, uncontested.
As Sabari loses his momentum, continues to battle. Gakpo lifted back to his feet. In 6 minutes, he is almost up. Hang on now to the referee's discretion for time added on because of Issa Diop's goal, just his 2nd for club and country in the last 2.5 years. It's for Bruggen. Everyone in the Estadio Monterrey has risen to their feet. And of course, battling for the ball. And the flag has gone up. It will be a throw. Dumfries with the ball in his hands. Well, you just felt like this game would go this way.
Menit terakhir.
Given there is so little to separate these two sides. Looping ball.
Tambahan waktu dong. Tambahan waktu.
We will go into extra extra time, thanks to Issa Diop's pinpoint header. Cody Gakpo opened the scoring on the 72nd minute, and for so long it looked like that would be enough. But later on, 90+1, Issa Diop levels things out, and so on to extra time we go. Well, you could have predicted that this game between these two teams
membuat ketika menjadi 1-1. Seperti apa Edwin melihat di 2 kali 45 menit?
Secara overall memang Maroko ya yang lebih banyak melakukan serangan, melakukan pertahanan, dan sepertinya ketika di menit-menit akhir tadi Maroko masih ketinggalan, sepertinya kok gak adil gitu ya. Tapi ternyata Maroko membuktikan bahwa mereka dengan semangatnya, mereka dengan variasi serangannya, tidak ada yang menyangka bahwa seorang Issa Diop back tengah itu bisa masuk dalam sebuah open play, masuk ke dalam kotak penalti dan dia mencetak gol. Ada kelengahan dari para pemain belakang Belanda tadi, terlihat Virgil van Dijk sangat menyesal karena tidak mengawasi Issa Diop yang masuk ke dalam kotak penalti dan mencetak gol.
Ya, mengganti 5 pemain sepertinya ini menjadi kunci bagi pelatih Mohamed Wahbi ya.
Betul.
Bisa membuat perubahan yang signifikan terutama di 10 menit terakhir.
Yes, rotasi yang sangat berimpact pada sentuhan kemudian juga operan ya. Sejauh ini mereka juga mampu melakukan 596 sentuhan, artinya mereka tidak inferior. Mereka mencoba untuk tetap menjalankan game plan mereka walaupun fleksibel. Di saat melakukan attacking mereka begitu kuat dalam melakukan aksi-aksi individu, begitu juga dengan ketika defense. Kolektivitas defense mereka untuk menjaga kedalaman sangat baik.
Ya, saya rasa keluarnya Gravenberch ini membuat lini tengah dikuasai oleh Maroko dan ini yang membuat Maroko bisa menyamakan kedudukan.
Ya, dan ada pergantian pemain dilakukan oleh Ronald Koeman, pasti maksudnya untuk melakukan refreshment. Tapi ini sedikit banyak mempengaruhi ya. Ada Nathan Ake yang tadinya dimainkan jadi back left center back, ditarik keluar digantikan oleh top Mainers yang posisinya gelandang. Nah, ada juga Mickey van de Ven yang ditarik keluar untuk digantikan oleh Jorel Hato. Secara pengalaman saya pikir Jorel Hato masih agak jauh ya dibandingkan dengan Nathan Ake sama Mickey van de Ven. Usianya juga masih cukup muda, Jorel Hato 20 tahun, dan ketika bermain di Chelsea juga tidak terlalu bagus ya. Ini sangat memang ada risiko yang harus diambil untuk menggantikan pemain yang sudah lelah digantikan dengan pemain yang lebih fresh. Tapi ya itu tadi resiko yang diambil akhirnya bisa membuat Maroko yang justru memetik keuntungan dengan mencetak gol penyama skor.
Ya, saya melihat dengan masuknya 2 pemain tengah dan 2 sayap baru dari Maroko ini yang membuat lebih fresh dan mereka merubah dari 4-2-3-1 menjadi 3-4-3. Betul. Di akhir babak kedua tadi.
Iya, artinya kan ada opsi untuk membantu kinerja dari Saibari ya.
Ya.
Bagaimana sejauh ini kan manuver dia, movement dia sudah bisa dibaca oleh 2 center back dari Belanda. Kemudian dengan dimasukkan 2 pemain ini memang warnanya, dimensinya memang sedikit ada peningkatan. Ya. Ketika di sepertiga area pertahanan dari Belanda pun mereka juga ada peningkatan yang signifikan ya dengan 70 kali, berbeda dengan Belanda yang hanya mampu melakukan 45 kali.
Ya, sayangnya pertandingan ketat ini sedikit diganggu dengan kepemimpinan wasit sampainya kurang tepat ya. Beberapa keputusannya sedikit tidak tepat sehingga beruntung tadi tidak merubah atau memanaskan pertandingan.
Iya, terlihat sekali ya keputusannya memang masih belum begitu baik.
Kalau gitu terus bisa kalah Belanda, bisa bang?
Tapi jelas tidak mempengaruhi intensitas dan motivasi setiap individu ya untuk selalu memaksimalkan kinerja dan performa.
Ya, kita akan melihat pertandingan 2 kali 15 menit.
So back underway. Extra time between the Netherlands and Morocco. As Weghorst goes down under the pressure of Mazraoui. They were eager to get back out on the pitch, weren't they, the Netherlands? Both teams know what's on the line, and that is a meeting with co-host Canada in Houston on the 4th of July.
Both managers and both benches.
Bener bang, harusnya tadi Brazil juga ya bang ya.
Substitutes out. to get warmed up as quickly as
Argentina
possible in preparation. And for
OTW
whatever
juara lagi,
curveballs
Bang.
thrown at them.
Will goes down as quickly back to his feet. What a player he's been in this tournament. After a difficult season with his club team, West Ham relegated from the Premier League. And of course there'll be plenty of eyes on him. And he returns on this tournament. Everyone's surging forward now for the Netherlands. All eyes, of course, on the captain, Virgil van Dijk. Big goals. Specialism of his. Of miners. Hartel.
Apa ke Belanda akan nyusul juga, Bang? Kayaknya Maroko bisa pulangin Belanda ini, Bang.
Diop, the reason why this game has gone to extra time is 90+1 minute header. Horst almost opens up, guided out of the path of Cosenso Somerville. Right, Mr. Diop. Van Dijk and Hecker. Van Hecker sees the run of Fries.
Well, despite all the substitutions made, each manager has maintained the tactical flexibility that we saw from the opening whistle. Same idea with the back three, just different names, different faces for Netherlands. And as always, organized, compact, and the hybrid of a 4-4-2 is the setup for Morocco.
Van Dijk. Miners. Outlet force. And a shot. Is the decision of the referee. And despite the pleas of Frankie,
Belum, Bang.
The free kick will go the way of Morocco.
The initial punch, the turn, and Frankie de Jong.
Kayak bocah ngemil cuy.
Gets into the feet of Brahimi, and obviously how he feels about the ball.
Well, he will hope that history doesn't repeat itself tonight. This is the 6th time that the Netherlands have gone to extra time at a World Cup. They've only won on one of the previous 5 occasions, and that was when they beat Costa Rica on penalties in the 2014 quarter-final after a goalless draw. Of course, then the next game for them ended once again in penalties, and it was the first of 2 back-to-back defeats from spot kicks at the hands of Argentina. Maloney.
Apakah ini bakal adu penalti juga, Bang?
How important will that goal be in the grand scheme of things for Morocco? This is, of course, a game that could have been the last 16. It could have been a quarter-final. And it is the closest and the biggest of the ties in the round of 32.
Bisa aja bang ngelihat dua-duanya kayak main bertahan ini. Apa sih maksudnya?
Saibari has opened up here.
Waduh.
Huge chance and a massive save. Rahimi. So close to finding the back of the net, but denied by Barberbruggen.
Peluang.
He's gone inside, he's gone outside, he's got Koop Miners on the deck, he's got the goalkeeper at his mercy as well. And the deflection seems to come off his right leg, then that big bear claw of a right hand. He makes himself so big at the last second, almost baiting
Dia pun nggak percaya, nggak bisa nyetak.
Rahimi to pick a side, and as he does, into the body range. And how good has the Netherlands goalkeeper been this evening? Fifth massive intervention for his back line.
Corner doesn't make it past Frankie de Jong.
Si Maroko banyak banget peluang nggak dimaksimalkan asli.
Well, again, the intervention that we saw previous near post, the service on the corner in the first half, El Anoumi. Then it was Hakimi at near range. Hakimi deflection off the crossbar. Now it's Rahimi that's been stunted in the ability in that clinical moment to give Morocco the lead.
Van Hekke. It's a goal apiece, an extra time, and in Monterrey, the final game in this stadium. Seems fitting. And our stay here has been extended.
Belanda sama Maroko.
Aku nonton semalam itu kan.
Brasil sama
Nervy faces in there. And it will be some confident hearts and minds.
Di rumah.
Sudah kecil setengah.
De Jong. What can they do here? Rahimi chasing once again. And well positioned, as he always seems to be, Virgil van Dijk.
He's got the pace, he takes the angle, intelligent movement, fantastic read once again. But the outlet is on. And the verticality we've seen from Morocco has been a real challenge for Netherlands from the opening whistle.
Masih pertambahan waktu lagi nih.
Salahuddin moves the ball for Talbi. There's Mazraoui.
Hampir tambahan waktu juga itu. Kalau nggak cetak di menit terakhir.
Layouni.
Sakit sekali di depan.
Mazraoui. Mr. Diop. Apparently the hero from Morocco. Layouni. Mr. Diop. As the chanting intensifies from the Moroccan fans. Hakimi. Mazraoui. Saibari.
With the introduction of Rahimi, Saibari's been given more of the number 10-ish type of role to drop back into this midfield and try to help connect from the backline build and allow Talbi, Rahimi with those fresh legs to make more dynamic runs to stretch this back four of Netherlands.
And the manager was asked what do you think his best position is, and he said,
Sudah Mi
whatever is on the
dicopot
pitch.
sayangnya.
He's absolutely correct.
Oh.
He's so important and as influential in moments.
Pakai baja ringan atau
down that
seng
right-hand
seng
side.
biasa?
Johnny
Sampurna
Rogers has been
16.
sent out
Warkop.
to warm up. With the 5 minutes of the first half of
1,
extra
2,
time.
3, 4, 5, 6 macam ya.
Mulibet. Naomi. Saibari. Mateen.
He's so quick, so dynamic. He wants it on that wand of the left foot, but you can see how quickly he's spinning out of really tight spaces.
They've had so much of the ball in the second half, but it's been given away, and play has been stopped very quickly by the referee, deemed a handball in the process, and foul play caused, trying to shake his way through.
Well, it's almost if at times defenders misjudge how quickly he can close down space because of the longer
Bawa
gains.
Mino tanah di dek.
But right there as he comes
789.
across, you can see the ball defended.
HP-nya di dalam soalnya. Atau fotokan, kirimkan ke WA. Iya, kasih.
Ini. First period of extra time that so far has lacked intensity. Will that change here for Morocco? Balbi. Balbi once again. Find his way past the fast feet of Asensio Somerville to launch through the air in the process.
Belanda dikurung ini. Belanda dikurung beneran.
He stayed down here. He's now back to his feet after what looked initially to be a painful clash of boots. Saladin. Mazraoui. Mulibet. So we've got a little bit cagey now, Brian Dunseth.
Yeah, they're just trying to manage the shape. It's been a long season for the legs of these players. And there's a fine line between conserving and understanding what's left in this match and almost feeling a little bit too content with the static defensive shape. Because you always just have to be aware of the movement off the ball will dictate how quickly you can try to pull out the opponent's defensive low block / mid block. And right now, Netherlands just trying to keep the game in front of them.
We've seen nothing of the ball though. The Netherlands in this first period of extra time.
And I truly do wonder, Ellen, if it's so much about the aggressiveness of the substitution pattern for Morocco in the final 10 minutes of the match.
Saibari.
Bisa
That
bang.
might give them a more distinct advantage tactically and player personnel-wise.
Penasaran sama ekspresi si Koci bang.
To negate their higher press that we'd seen in that first 45 minutes.
Well, left scratching his head.
He's taken some long looks at the players available and all the calculations inside. You just wish you had a microphone to understand what he was thinking about.
Netherlands only completed 19 passes in extra time. Morocco completed 108 in the same period. What will happen here though? Ball launched forward by Dumfries.
Beres.
And that will be that for the first 15 minutes of extra time. Relatively uneventful. Not for Bruggen. Has been the key man though in denying any extra goals for Morocco. Rahimi with the best of the chances. And so at half-time, in extra time, it is Netherlands 1,
Pemirsa Pola Play, baru saja kita saksikan perpanjangan waktu pertama di mana tidak ada gol tercipta, bahwa juga menarik melihat bagaimana penampilan atau sebuah gol dari Verbruggen yang tadi
Pastilah, Bang.
mengalahkan sebuah peluang emas dari
Ya nggak bisa di setting, Bang.
membuat tidak ada gol tercipta di perpanjangan
Nggak
waktu
bisa loh.
pertama ini. Skor masih tetap 1-1.
Ya,
Ya,
Nggak
saya
bisa
pikir,
di 100, menit 105 nggak
dan
bisa.
motivasi para pemain Maroko perlu diapresiasi ya.
Nggak bisa.
Bagaimana kinerja, terutama setelah memainkan 5 pemain
Lah.
di babak kedua, mereka
Ya.
sangat percaya diri dengan passing game yang mereka jalankan, sehingga memaksa para pemain dari Belanda lebih dipaksakan untuk defend, agak menempatkan mereka di garis pertahanan yang rendah.
Ya, dan saya melihat bahwa justru di 15 menit awal ini terjadi perubahan signifikan. Belanda bermain low block.
Ya.
Belanda banyak bertahan menghadapi Maroko ini.
jarang-jarang kita melihat Belanda main catenaccio. Ya, di babak pertama 15
Ya.
menit tadi benar-benar dikurung habis, dan para pemain Maroko, saya melihatnya mereka percaya dirinya luar biasa setelah berhasil menyamakan skor di akhir babak kedua tadi, babak normal. Tapi memang sekali lagi bahwa di menit-menit seperti sekarang ini konsentrasi yang akan dituntut, apakah mereka masih bisa bertahan dari gempuran dari Maroko. Karena kalau melakukan serangan balik dengan pemain striker seperti Wout Weghorst agak berat.
Ya,
Bukan pemain tipikal pelari. Tipikalnya kalau Weghorst kan target man gitu. Sehingga di posisi seperti sekarang ini, dalam kondisi seperti sekarang, sepertinya agak kurang maksimal gitu.
Ya, dan kita melihat sudah 5 pergantian pemain dilakukan oleh Maroko. Tentunya sedangkan Belanda masih ada satu lagi pergantian pemain. Dan kalau melihat kembali penjaga gawang Verbruggen ini bisa dikatakan menjadi man of the match sejauh ini ya, bagi Belanda.
Betul, karena beberapa kali ya save-nya penting, save dia lakukan sangat penting, sangat krusial. Begitu juga ketika mampu untuk menggagalkan
15 aja dah.
satu peluang yang dimiliki oleh pemain nomor 9 dari Maroko tadi ya.
Ya, sebenarnya kalau melihat situasi ini berbahaya bagi Belanda ya, kalau mereka bertahan terus.
Ya, mau tidak mau ya, mereka harus tetap berani untuk keluar, terutama bisa memenangkan duel lini tengah. Terutama ketika mereka mampu untuk dominan dan bisa memenangkan half space, praktis mereka akan bisa melakukan serangan.
Ya, serangan bagi Maroko sudah sangat tepat ya.
Ya, mereka menguasai jalannya permainan. Ya, ini kan sebetulnya mereka tinggal mencari bagaimana finishingnya. Cuman kan nggak mudah kalau Belanda masih tetap bertahan dengan cukup disiplin seperti di 15 menit pertama tadi.
Ya, baik pemirsa Pola Play, sekarang saya akan mengajak Anda untuk menyaksikan tambahan waktu kedua, di mana skor sementara 1-1. Inilah Belanda versus Maroko. Selamat menyaksikan.
Aduh, ngantuk.
So it's 20 past, just after 9 local time. We are back underway in the second half of extra time. All level between Netherlands and Morocco. It was Cody Gakpo who opened the scoring in such a powerful moment after the news that was revealed by him and his family this week of the loss of their unborn baby boy. Issa Diop levelled out the scoreline just ahead of full time, 90+1. And there has been very little ground done to separate the two sides since that point.
And again, two sides that are maintaining their shape from the opening whistle. Again, a reminder that Ronald Koeman switching from the 4-3-3, starting with 3 in the back. The first time he's done so, going all the way back to March 2024, the 2-1 loss against Germany. And whether that was concern about Morocco or respect for Morocco, either way, it doesn't matter. He's continued with the same tactical shape and nuance.
Here's Gakpo. Has space to run into.
Ngantuk, Bang. Aduh.
Quickly closed though by Hakimi. And then the ball pinched away from him. And so we will have a free kick away.
Belum ngopi.
Well, Morocco is Salawit. Nassim Yassi back to his feet and jogging away from the incident.
We knew definitively there was one person inside of the stadium that will be more than happy to watch these two teams stretch themselves to the final moments. And that's going to be Canadian head coach Jesse Marsh announcing yesterday that after going through in their late win from Stefan Eustachio's incredible goal, he's here inside of the stadium, and one can only imagine what his notebook of preparation looks like when trying to figure out ways to break down either of these teams.
Bahaya.
Run forward, ball sent high. Miners.
Bahkan kata Koci bang, nggak ada pemain Belanda yang seperti Arjen Robben di semua generasi kayaknya bang. Anomali sih Arjen Robben tuh. Nggak punya lagi Arjen Robben itu Belanda itu, anomali itu.
Hakimi.
Pemain Belanda emang nggak ada yang bertipe Arjen Robben.
Game grinding to a halt for the end of the first 15 minutes of extra time. Here's Hakimi.
And also thinking about the psychology from the coaching staff and the manager, thinking about what's necessary, what risks you can take in hopes of winning the game outright, but also who's still available that could be confidently someone you could turn to during penalties.
Laouni. This is Rahimi to Issa Diop. Rahimi.
Gak ada gantinya.
Mulabet.
Si nunggu bang. Si Belanda nunggu, benar-benar nunggu ini mah.
This has been so standoffish from the Netherlands.
$8.000.
Nothing given by the referee. There's Rahimi. Want to get back to his feet. There is a restlessness in the Estadio Monterrey, and a feeling that penalties are looming.
Well, part of the challenge with Bob Weghorst on the field is going to be how can you physically challenge him? You're not going to beat him outright in the air, very rarely.
8.
So you got to put a body on him.
On comes Marvin Balloon. As it's Frankie de Jong who makes way.
As typical of a performance that we would expect from Frankie de Jong. And now the experience of Derun, the 35-year-old playing his club football at Atalanta,
Aduh ngantuk.
come in with the experience to manage this midfield.
And Dunk is headed into a dangerous area. He's always looking to latch, isn't he? I sense so some of them. Here's Talabi. Confidence to charge forward, finds Saibali. Mazraoui now. And back into the controlled possession of the Netherlands.
Ngantuk asli, ngantuk banget parah.
Morocco, what can they conjure up here? He was flying in.
Another great read from Koop Miners, playing just to that left-hand
Anggaran.
side of
Nggak
Virgil
ada.
van Dijk. Referee was allowing advantage to be played. Really intelligent from Cody Gakpo. Spun himself out of the initial pressure. Sabari, he was critical of the decision. Now he's helping Gakpo stretch out the cramp. And again, very, very intelligent from Cody Gakpo to earn that whistle from the referee.
And taking their time and floated forward. Horst is there, Gakpo as well. Get the ball in play, it will go out for a goal kick.
9 menit
Right there from Saladin.
menjelang. Ilah, masuk. Ya, kelihatan banget buang-buang peluang. Coba buang-buang waktu dia.
Sampaio just comes across, separates Gakpo from trying the extraordinary. And he was intelligent enough to know that he was cramping. Rolled himself back in to play and now affording Ranakuman the opportunity to go to the bench.
Aduh, kayak kenal.
Almost man. Of course, the Netherlands only making 4 changes in regulation time. Able to make 2 now in the extra time, and that is the end of the road for Cody Gakpo as he makes his way past a tight-knit bunch of Netherlands fans, much to their applaud.
And deserved adulations and respect for what he means to this group, what he means as an individual, and that incredible goal that he scored back in the 73rd minute.
It's a confirmation there, of course, with the change saying in 5 have come on there. That is the last of the changes that can be made for the Netherlands.
Ini kalau adu penalti, Bono jago adu penalti juga bang, tapi kiper Belanda juga lumayan.
He's looming in this final game in the Stadio Monterrey. For a place in the last 16 and a meeting with Canada. Houston, on for the border. Surprised that both these teams want ever so greatly. As alluded to by both the managers in the press conferences, it would be such heartbreak to lose 2 teams, or 1 team of this stature, either of the teams, so early on in the competition.
8.
Header, diffusing the threat from Morocco. Somerville. 5% of the possession going away. With Morocco continues with Somerville still down. He's holding the back of his knee.
That was a very physical challenge from Saladin. And instantaneously waved off from the referee.
And there's boos echoing around the stadium.
We also wonder how much the previous incidents surrounding Somerville comes back to play. And you can clearly see, watch the right studs come across. It just catches him from behind. Referee not interested whatsoever. And all the players have to be very, very careful of going to ground and spending too much time understanding the nuance of what's left in this match.
And Seedorf watching on. So finally poised, this game on a knife edge, as we expected it to be. 7th versus 6th in the world. You really can't say that enough, because this is a game that, with that context, feels like it is going the way of the playbook.
Well, in this second 45 minutes, Morocco did a phenomenal job of more possession, tactically recognizing moments in which they could really move off the ball and pin the Netherlands deeper and deeper, make them more and more uncomfortable. And they've done the same in extra time.
And asking to be let back on is Sergio Somerville, and still has to wait. Well, so often nail biting is used as a cliche, but clear evidence of the nerves that both sets of fans are going through at this point. This is painful, isn't it, if you are of either persuasion, Netherlands or Morocco. 3 minutes of extra time left to play. And the clock will keep ticking down, and now sometimes the minutes that really count. Hakimi. Now the flag goes up, and the throw will go the way of the Netherlands. Well, every time Morocco has needed something, the fans have responded in due course. It's a noise that is echoing around the pockets of this stadium. It's a lovely flick from Crescencio Somerville, just can't get it under control. It was the right idea. Less than 90 seconds. Is our fate settled for penalties? Will there be a glimmer for Morocco, or indeed the Netherlands? Changes this game right at the death.
On slight hesitation, Saibari collided with what looked like the shoulder of Dumfries as he was trying to make that second run off that back shoulder of the right side defender for Netherlands.
Menit terakhir cuy.
Into the final 60 seconds. Here's Van Dijk.
Bang, nanti relief ya. Babak adu penalti, relief ya.
The pressure of taking and indeed missing penalties, the Netherlands captain. Miners. Van Dijk. It will have an additional minute added on at the end of this extra time. Hakimi can't keep the ball in play. 45 seconds
Ngantuk
left
parah.
to go before penalties. Only once before has a World Cup match between a European and African nation that went into extra time been settled on a penalty shootout. And well, look at that for a collision and a sight there is Mr. Farley had to change his shirt, and there is a pile of shirts.
Well, Saibari's proof in concept. He's trying to show that he's been caught. He's going to have to stop the bleeding. The medical staff is going to have the attention to make sure that he's cleaned up before the fourth official is going to let him anywhere near coming back on the field.
So down to 10 players. How will that change things as Somerville surging forward, can't control the ball. And maybe picked up here by Dumfries, and Dowling steers it away. Comes off the boot of Timber and out for a throw.
And once again, that intervention is exactly why Salah Ad-Din has come onto this match.
Beres bang.
So there we go. Nothing to separate the Netherlands and Morocco. Through 120 minutes.
Ya pemirsa, tidak ada gol tercipta.
Off dulu live reaction